Do you guys remember this lady? Well, I'm trying not to laugh. This is her now.
It's been happening frequently at the 333 Miami Avenue Federal Court building. Janet Correa's husband was detained this week. According to her immigration lawyer, he has already been placed on expedite removal.
They voted por Donald Trump. Donald Trump deport. You heard that right, guys. Janet Correa, the famous Trump singing lady, has had her husband detained by ICE. And not only that, but he got put on expedited removal. They want him out of the US. They don't want him. But of course, we've been telling them this all along. They don't want you, bro. Also, do you remember the time I went viral because I told people to call ICE on Latinos for Trump and the family members of Latinos for Trump? It looks like it's happening, and I couldn't be happier. You reap what you sow, and I stand by what I say. But anyways, play silly games, get silly prizes. Let me know what you guys think.
What in the fuck am I gonna do with a Trump phone? I don't need another phone bill. We didn't get a stimulus. We didn't get a Doge check. We didn't get no debt relief. No help for rent. No help for your mortgage. No help for groceries. They won't raise our wages. They won't lower prices. We're fucking drowning in debt, but guess what we get? We get a Donald Trump phone. A fucking phone, gold-plated with Trump's picture on the back of it. I voted for him. Do I want a fucking Trump phone? No! I want some goddamn relief. No food stamps, no help with childcare, no clean water in Flint, no cheap utilities, but a gold-plated, freedom-fueled, white, red, and broke Android with unlimited patriotism for $47.45 a fucking...
So yeah, dudes, he doesn't care about you. He never did. He never will. The sooner that you get over that realization, the sooner that we can get to, pardon the expression, begin to unfuck things now. This is just an aside to my fellow lefties hearing a lot of this. We could take a victory lap here. We could just fucking send off a bunch of flares and say, I told you so. Or we can try and fucking turn this thing.
Motherfuckers like this, like, y'all motherfuckers voted for this shit, and now you bitching and moaning? Just shut the fuck up and take what you voted for. Shut up. Fuck.
There's a whole lot of white people who are now upset that they voted for Trump. So I just want to point out this lesson and thing we do in the black community where we say all skin folk and kin folk. Y'all voted for that man because he's white and you didn't want to see a black woman become the president. And now you see all skin folk and kin folk. I don't feel sorry for y'all at all.
Over that realization, the sooner that we can get to, pardon the expression, begin to unfuck things now. This is just an aside to my fellow lefties hearing a lot of this. We could take a victory lap here. We could just fucking send off a bunch of flares and say, I told you so. Or we can try and fucking turn this thing.
Motherfuckers like this, like, y'all motherfuckers voted for this shit, and now you bitching and moaning? Just shut the fuck up and take what you voted for. Shut up. Fuck.
Hey, I voted for Donald Trump. And really starting to regret my vote because this isn't what I voted for. I voted for a lot more people to go to jail. I voted for a lot more politicians to be stripped of their power and put in prison for the crimes that they've committed against humanity. I voted for the Epstein list to come out. The full list. The full fucking list of every politician, every bureaucrat that had anything to do with those minors.
What did you expect when you voted for a felon, a criminal, someone who bankrupted 2 casinos? What did you expect? He said he wanted to be a dictator on day one. That's what you're getting. This is what dictator looks like. Because dictators don't give a fuck about any of us.
There are white people going viral right now for their regret over voting for Donald Trump. And I put that word into heavy quotation marks because I genuinely question if they even know what the word regret means. One woman in particular got on TikTok crying a whole theatrical production about how people are not greeting her with open arms, how they're being mean to her in her comment section. Lady, are you fucking for real? Somehow you are the victim, not the millions of people harmed by the very system that you voted to prop up not once, not twice, but 3 fucking times. Not the immigrants who lost their family members to deportation or concentration camps. Not the communities of color who have been terrorized by the very policies that you voted to enable. You're the victim because people were mean to you in your comment section. And this tells me everything I need to know about your regret. You're not sorry, you're uncomfortable, and you're confusing the two. You claim that you're doing the work, yet at the first sign that that work becomes difficult, you make videos crying to garner sympathy for yourself. So the emotional labor falls on everyone else again. And then to make it worse, there's a whole slew of people in her comment sections coddling her. Oh, you're such a good girl because you realize that you made a mistake by voting for him 3 times. It's so brave of you to speak up. Then, some of you have the fucking audacity to police how other people respond to this video. Specifically, the people that MAGA spent years targeting. People of color, the LGBTQ community, immigrants. You want them to welcome ex-MAGA with open arms. You want them to perform forgiveness for your comfort. The people that we should all have sympathy for are the ones who have been harmed, not the ones who do the harming and are now sad because everyone remembers. But here's the part that really gets me. Same crying video. She said she won't be voting in future elections. So instead of working to dismantle the oppressive system that you helped build, your solution is to throw your hands up and do nothing but cry online. That is not remorse. That is not doing the work. That's pandering for likes and comments to appease your praise kink. That's demanding forgiveness without actually earning it. Look, if people want to coddle ex-MAGA voters, that's your prerogative. Nobody can stop you for handing out participation trophies. But if you are an alleged regretful MAGA, do not expect anyone to forgive you. Do not expect a warm welcome. Do not expect marginalized communities to throw you a fucking parade. Do the fucking difficult work. Sit with your discomfort. Sit with the fact that people are rightfully angry at you. And sit with the fact that your regret doesn't undo any of the damage that you caused. The only way you will maybe, and that's a big if, be welcomed back into a society that is rightfully skeptical of you is if you spend the rest of your life proving that you are worth redemption. That means voting for progressive candidates who actually want to help people. That means showing up to protests. That means putting your fucking body on the line. That means doing the hard work, even when nobody is clapping for you. Otherwise, save your fucking tears and go cry about it in your journal.
I will deal with the aftermath of the tariffs. I compared 2024 first quarter to 2025 first quarter. I am down 70%. I'm not willing to say that that's due to the decisions of the administration yet, because my business does run in cycles. When it comes to the items that I import directly from China, like the pens, pencils, coffee mugs, keychains, calculators, that's all been affected immediately. I also had a quote for rubber ducks that I was working on, 5,000 rubber ducks. And my unit cost went from below 30 cents to just below 50 cents overnight. Consequently, that order of ducks is on hold. I also have 10,000 poker chips on hold. I have 2,000 hats on hold. This is all merchandise I could be selling right now. Yes, I do have some investments that are down, which is affecting me on the personal side. Now we're not sure which direction we want to go.
But you chose this because you didn't want to vote for the black lady with the weird laugh. You chose to have families ripped apart. Do you know what's happening in my neighborhood while you're whining? People are being kidnapped, disappeared by men in masks. People who are legally here, citizens, children. You expect us to feel sorry for you when we tried to tell you that this was gonna fucking happen and you didn't listen. We all beat the drum as loud as we could that this was going to happen. We could have had all of those things. We could have had healthcare, food benefits, peace. Now look. Are you guys going to own this? Are you going to say, yes, this is my fault? Or are you going to whine and cry like you're a victim? You can't, when you vote for the same thing 3 times in a row, it's not a mistake. You didn't want to vote for the black woman. And now here we are. And everybody is suffering because of you. You have blood on your hands. You have broken families on your hands. I have a Mexican son who's a United States citizen, and I have to worry every single fucking day of my life now because of you. So no, I don't feel sorry for what's happening to you in your life because you chose that. You chose that. So whatever you get, you deserve because consequences of your vote. Did you really think that the felon was going to be a good president? He wasn't a good president the first time. So thanks to you, I have to worry about my son every fucking day. What happens if my son gets picked up and sent to El Salvador and he's a fucking citizen? You didn't think about that, did you? You didn't think about anybody but your fucking self.
My good friend, I think you're complaining about the wrong things because clearly you just told the world you voted wrong. But the black lady had those same plans in helping middle-class Americans with childcare, debt reduction, buying a first home, and at least somewhat trying to afford rent, you know? But you voted a guy that had the concepts of a plan. I have concepts of a plan. Hey, good luck though, man. You know what you should do though? You should think about joining the military because we're about to get in some shit. And you know what the military offers: free college, housing stipends, and etc., etc. So you should think about that if you didn't serve already. You should think about that.
Hey everybody, Rich coming to you here at leavingmaga.org. I want to make a particular appeal today to MAGA Americans. I really don't believe that what is happening in our country now is something that you want. But I understand that it's not a natural act for us to admit that we believed lies.
It's because he exploited you. He extracted your value, which was your vote and your support and your money. And now you're stuck. You're looking around. You were hoping that this grand vision would come to be, but it never happened. Because why? Because, say it with me, Trump is a capitalist. Trump does not like the working class. He's a fascist. He's a power-hungry little man who only wants more power. And he was willing to do anything that he can to get it. And that means even lie to you. And I'm sure you don't like being lied to. But the fact of the matter is that this capitalist system is fucking killing itself. It cannot survive under these conditions. You will always be exploited by this system that you keep voting to keep in. You need to stop thinking that capitalism is just not working for you yet. It's never going to work. It's never going to work for you because it's not meant for you. It's meant for capitalists. And you are being exploited. You're being exploited by your utility bills. Oh, I wonder if we could just nationalize it so we can make it free for everyone. Exploited by medical bills. Oh, I wonder if we can make it universal health care and make it free for everyone. Exploited by your grocery bills. They're ever increasing prices. Maybe we can just cap it. It's all made up. It's a made up fucking system. We made it all up. We could give people livable wages, but guess who keeps fucking it? Republicans, conservatives, Trump. Every single time we think about raising the minimum wage in this country by a little bit, not even to survive, by just like a little bit, guess who keeps coming out of the woodwork saying that this whole entire country is going to collapse because they can't exploit you well enough? Doesn't that itch your brain a little? Doesn't that itch your brain about how when we try to get minimum wage raised to a livable wage, people always keep saying we can't do it because our country will cease to function? That's not a good system. It's fucking you over. And I'm not saying this to shame you. You got tricked. You got bamboozled. Twice. Sucks that it happened twice, but twice. Maybe if you just stop. Stop thinking that capitalism is going to help you. Stop hitting that slot machine lever and hoping that you're going to hit the jackpot.
No debt relief, no help for rent, no help for your mortgage, no help for groceries.
I really want you to have all of those things. I voted for you to have all of those things. I voted for me to have all of those things. I voted for everyone to have all of those things, but you didn't. There was plenty of evidence pointing to the fact that you were going to land where you are right now before you voted the way you voted, but you didn't listen to that, and you voted that way anyway. And so now here we are. But you see some things now, some things that maybe other people who voted the way you voted still don't see. So if you really want those things, there's a midterm election coming. You need to talk to the people who voted the way you did and convince them to help turn Congress into a place that can stop him from taking those things away from you. And then in 2 more years after that, maybe we have some hope.
Marketing.
No, sir. This is what you voted for. Y'all chose stupidity over common sense. Y'all chose a fool over humanity. Racism and hatred over care and love. It's so funny how racism and hatred is so expensive. Like, this don't teach a lot of y'all racists to realizing being racist is really expensive. Y'all didn't get these stimulus checks. Y'all didn't get these Doge checks. Gas prices and groceries have not went down. Your bills are still high. Your rent is still high. Everything we warned y'all about is coming to truth. He literally showed y'all time and time again he's not for the middle class. He's not for the American people, really. But y'all will still vote for him because he was a man. He was a white man. It was never about gas bills. It was never about grocery prices. It was never about rent. It was never about helping the economy. All of this, y'all vote for Donald Trump, is because of racism and hatred.
Sometimes the biggest political surprises don't happen on election night. They happen months later when everyday people begin asking whether their expectation matches the reality. Across the country, some voters are openly reflecting on the decision they made at the ballot box, on podcasts, social media, and community forums. Americans are debating whether campaign promises are translating into real improvement in their daily life. For some, it's a moment of confidence. For others, it's a time of second thought. And for many, it's a time for regret. Let me remind you that elections have long-term consequences that reach far beyond campaign speeches. At the same time, many Black Americans point out that they had voiced concern about certain policies and their potential impact well before the election. Whether people agree or disagree with those warnings, today's conversation has sparked renewed debate about listening to different perspectives before making major political decisions. Across the country, many white voters who are supporters of President Donald Trump are now regretting that they voted for his administration. But this story is not just about one election or one political figure. It's about accountability, expectation, and how citizens evaluate leaders after they are in office. Democracies don't end on election day. They continue every day as voters accept the result of the choices they have made. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you believe Black voters, black communities who want MAGA voters not to vote for Trump are right? Or do you think white voters who now regret their action for voting the Donald Trump administration are also right? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below.